Hello and hi. For today, I will show you two main concepts in Kubernetes: HPA, horizontal Pod Autoscaler, and replica set with stateful set for the MongoDB architecture of the project. At the first, we have a client or user will hit the HTTP request, and then NGINX controller will receive it and forward it to Kubernetes service. And of course, the Kubernetes service will distribute the traffic for the backend pods, which is the deployment pod. And the deployment, of course, will talk to the Mongo database, and the Mongo database will save its data. The HPA will be the minimum replica as 1 and max replicas as 5. And it will be increased one by one when the CPU percentage will be above 70. Okay, right now we will use the killer shell or killer code as our playground. And now let's start to test if the data will be saved after we delete the Mongo database pod. And the other test, we will see if we make a load test to the deployment backend pods, if it will be increased or not. And after the load test will be removed, does the pods will be terminated or not? Okay, let's take the project git clone here. After that, we will going into the folder, and then we will apply the Ingress controller. That's why, because killer code doesn't have Ingress controller, so we will apply it. And after apply it, we will wait until the Ingress controller pods being ready. Okay, now it's running. Let's complete. We will now apply the backend deployment service, the backend deployment, and the service of the backend. And in this project, I will use ClusterIP instead of node port. Why you make this? Because killer code doesn't have the ability to let me see the public IP of the node of the playground I use. So I will use ClusterIP and then port forward, and we will test at the same node as the master node. Okay. Apply the deployment and service. And then we will wait until the pod's being ready. I've pushed the image in my repo in Docker Hub if you want to use it. Okay, now it's ready. Let's complete. I will just show you that we will use the service of the backend deployment as a ClusterIP. And this is the ClusterIP of the backend service. Okay, type ClusterIP. Okay. Now, after we have applied the Ingress controller, now we want to apply the Ingress configuration file. And now we want to see if it applied or not. Okay, now it's applied backend Ingress, class used NGINX, and the host backend local to communicate with the backend deployment with port 80. This is the port forward from 8080 to 80. Okay, we will use it here at this tab. Now we using the port forward at this tab, so I will not close this tab, and now I will use this another tab. With this curl, I'm hitting the host backend local. Why? Because at the tab 1, as we can see, the host backend.local. So we need to use the header backend.local to make the Ingress controller forward the data, the traffic from the customer, which I am, to the cluster. We will take it copy and going to another tab and paste. We will see API is working. Okay, and this is the message with it written in the JavaScript in the project. We will use these tests after we fully complete the entire project setup. Okay, as we said before, we didn't use the node port method. That's because the killer code website will not let us to use the public IP of the playground node. Okay, now let's set up the HPA. Now HPA created. To use HPA, you need to set up or apply the metrics server. Okay, that's why, because again, killer code doesn't have the metrics server. I will show you that it doesn't have it. The killer code doesn't have the metrics server. It doesn't found, so you need to apply it. But as you can see, the metrics server is not created, and it will not be created. If you will wait 1 hour, 2 hours, it will not be created. Does it have a certificate? Because metrics server need a certificate between him and the node machine he is talking to. So what is the solution? We will tell him ignore the SSL certificate. We will edit the metrics server and make him to ignore the certificate. Okay, now we will save and apply. After apply, now you can rewatch the boots of the metric server will be done and created. Okay, now it's running, and the metric server now can read the metrics of the CPU of the deployment backend pods, and based off that will increase and decrease the pods based on the traffic. We will use this test load later after we make the fully setup of the project, and I will show you, don't worry. Pods. There is no heading on it, okay? That's why, because we are not using the load test. Okay. Now let's go to the MongoDB StatefulSet with replica set. Let's apply the service and the StatefulSet. And let's get the pods. The 3 pods of the database, Mongo-0, Mongo-1, and Mongo-2, they are ready now and running. Okay, the concept of the replica set depends on the number of pods. So we have 3 pods of the Mongo database, so you need to initialize 3 Mongo database. Okay, so at the first, you will go to the first one or second or third, any number, anyone, okay? You need to access it and initialize the 3 pods. Just you want to tell him, hey, Mongo-0, you have 2 more of you, Mongo-1 and Mongo-2. And I want you to make a replica set between you and the others, and you will choose one of you will be the main one, and the others will be the slaves. Why? To make a database synchronization between them. So how we will do this? We will use this to let him do what we want from him. Okay, now you can wait and then you will ask him the state of the replica set. So what we did, we make a replica set initialization, and now I want to see the state of the replica set we have made. As you can see, the third one is secondary, and the second one is secondary, and the first one is primary. So they decided that the first one will be the primary one, and the others will be secondary. Now, let's make a database and write any data in it. This the data I will write in the my database, okay, and I will make sure I have right in this database. Oh, sorry, it's not users, it's items. I'm sorry. Okay, I will edit. Let's complete the items to make sure we have right our data in the my database or not. Okay, it's showing here. Now we will exit and test. If I execute to another database, I will see the data I have wrote into the my database or not. So we will go to Mongo 1 and use my database and then show the data inside it. Okay, that's the same data I have wrote in Mongo 0. Let's check again the Mongo 2 and also use my database and make sure if there is the same data. Okay, this is the same data I have wrote into Mongo 0. Okay, now let's make another test. We will delete the Mongo 0. Now it's created. Let's go to Mongo 0 and see if we have the same data we have wrote inside it before or not. Okay, we still have it. Let's check by hitting the back to the back end of the deployment. We will see. Oh, sorry. We will see the data we have wrote into the Mongo database. Getting the items. Okay, we have a problem. Okay, let's restart the deployment and getting its state. Okay, it's terminating. Let's now re-hit the curl to get the items. Okay, now we can see it. What just I did before, I just restarted the deployment of the backend and then waited to have its status. So after using the curl command again, I can see the data I have wrote into Mongo database 0. Okay. We now need to make the last test, which is the load test. Let's make another load. Okay, as you can see now, after 5 minutes, now we have the max pods. Now after we will release the load, stop the load, exit from here, and we will stop this load also, exit from here. What we expect to see, this 5 will be just 1. Why? Because the load being vanished. Now, as you can see now, after we have removed the load test, it's being now normal as the minimum pod as one. That's the two concepts in the Kubernetes. I want to show you it. And thank you for your listening. And I hope you being enjoyed with me.